Now I pass on the mic to Mrs. Ünver, fourth one. In the meanwhile, I'll come to you. I think the time is running out. Unfortunately, I can't hold her back. So please give me patience.
I will read my notes.
Right. And would it take longer than...
Just I'm going to read it quickly.
Okay, thank you.
Pinpoint.
Thank you.
As first, I am really grateful, honored, and privileged to be part of this conference, and especially Mr. Surendra and Vikas Cader. Sorry for my pronunciation. I'm always hesitating to say it wrong. They really have been extremely helpful, extremely. Yesterday I was in rush and panic, so I couldn't enough emphasize. And I had to make them taking extreme measures. They know what it is. I apologize, and everyone knows. And it's been extremely helpful, and I was ready to go back. They didn't allow, they rescued me. Thank you for that.
Thank you. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you. And I'd like to get the points. Over the years, since I had my very first computer, I can't resolve how to handle. I can't throw them. Hard drives, computers, adapters, cables. So my proposal to the Gemini Corporation, if you are able to create European base, American base, and then turn into a global base, how we could reproduce within the context of circular economy all the, I have like maybe 10 little old cell phones. I don't know what to do with them, and then you can throw them, and then information is there, and then you can use them. Nothing is matching, and also I'm traveling in between Turkey, and I can use ones there and here. So this is, I think, not only the personal concern, but also it is another major pollution, technological pollution. It has been brought out about 20 years ago, but now it's ever increasing every year, every 3 years, every 5 years. Whole electronic, we become so dependable, but we don't know what to do. Either you sell a shop, and even it's not the case in the US, and even it's not encouraged, because if you make fix, it's too costly, then you have to buy new. So this is whole chain, and I have a bunch of thousand cables and so many. So I don't know if you have any solution, and it is my proposal to you, how are we going to contribute to environment, to our own resources, to process them, to reproduce, and not make another technological garbage that is worse than human waste, anything we eat and do. That's one. And clothes, and also in the US, I don't know Europe, only way is, for instance, I gained 20 pounds, maybe 5, 10, and then nothing is fitting. So then only way is, suggested way, you can pile things. Maybe one of the church people could pick up, but they don't. 2 years, it's sitting, Porsches, tons of bags, nothing fit, and I can throw things. That's also my, and then it becomes like the house full of unused material. You can use them, you can convert them or reproduce them. So it goes with, different things. That's the two. So I am looking for answers that I can also be channeled to promote those if there is a solution that I can use, and I can also make them others to know and to use from that. And one thing is I learned 20, 15 years ago, lipstick. I don't use lipstick. I won't use lipstick because you might know, many of you may know, one of my earliest eye-opening documentary, and it's still one of my favorite ones, Cosmos by Carl Sagan. In that documentary, Carl Sagan shows it's a beautiful scene, ocean whales, and how the whales become the most, the first actually communicative sea, and still in the world, beside the humans. And they are the most advanced communicators. But technology, pollution, ocean is taking away, it's putting in danger. But in that episode, it was also saying that the lipstick was produced, it's produced based on the cat's life of sake of the whales. Then I stopped. So that's kind of when you don't know, information is so crucial, because once we don't know, everything has become so normal, custom, habit, and then when you know it, and then especially if you are sensitive, and we are here, and then you take that necessary measures. And based on my yesterday presentation, as long as I know, in the US there isn't label, that's another key issue. As long as I know, I won't produce any products that produced based on genetically modified foods, but it's impossible. But as long as, so I'm demanding, and please help us, let's demand the US will get the label issue, because you weren't able to avoid it. It's in all over the European market and worldwide market. How you will avoid it, I won't know. So, and also that causes killing the insects and animals and weeds, and poisoning the environment and soil, and there is no way to go back, reverse, so there is a whole chain things. I think that's very much my...
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm interrupting you in between.
As conclusion, just because this is also my commitment, that any ideas that as this conference offers, you will support with your visions, studies, academics, innovations, or if you know, we like to make them available, publish, and present to the UN that these ideas not lost or stick within certain groups. Thank you so much. I appreciate giving opportunity and being part of this conference.
Thank you. While you are leading me to the way to the Billionaires Club on recycling of electronic waste, I think that's my business. I can talk for hours, but I would give you just some brief idea. If somebody asks me what's going to be the business of this 21st century, it's going to be the recycling. The business is almost as big as almost $1 trillion. You compare it with the Indian GDP, which is about $1.8 trillion. 1.8, 1800 crore dollar. Yes, 1800 crore, $1.8 trillion. And the recycling business is already $1 trillion. And it's increasing tremendously. You couldn't find a better business than the recycling as on now. Talking about the recycling of telephones, electronics, computer waste, that's the real big thing. Right now, there are about 50 million tons of waste being generated, 50 million tons. And you imagine each ton is about from $500 to $2,000. It's a hell lot of money. And this is what we are trying to develop. And I'm sure sooner somebody would knock on your door, please. Different places, the things haven't gone to that far. India is still going through a transition stage. So as far as that point is concerned, it's a point of no return. It's going to move tremendously fast. Unfortunately, in India, we are still 20 years behind when it comes to recycling. Belgium is the pioneer in the world. And, well, I don't want to bore you with this. This is my business. That's what I do every day. So I would hold you back from this. The point which we are trying to make here is that the recycling is not an alternative. It's you have no choice. You have to do it. And unfortunately, in India, we still think waste is a waste, scrap is a waste. As long as you think it's a waste, you still think it's a kachra. The moment you start thinking the waste is a raw material, it's a resource, you would use it very judiciously. Now I have to move on to the next point. I have from Mr. Pradeep Dhakal. Would you like to come down, or if it's a small point, yes, I would appreciate, because the time is running out, and what we are going to do, we are making note of everybody's views, and we would circulate amongst all these 30 to 50 delegates. And it's difficult to come to a definite conclusion in a short time, but we would seek your input. And I'd like to make, if you allow me, one-page conclusion, not more than one page, which we can audit next year or year after next year, and I can share the findings that, look, this is what we decided, we failed. We didn't move further, and this is what we could succeed. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to propose one Bob. That is, I'll plant a tree on my every birthday now onwards, and I'll just name that tree or plant Anuvrat. Like now I'm 37. Now next year I'll just make 38. This way I'll just and I'll just take care of them also. Thank you very much.
That's a beautiful proposal. I think Shivani ji would like to add something. She's excited.
No, I just wanted to share with you that when Vikas came over and we were sitting and discussing on how to conduct the conference, in the middle of the meeting I said to him, Vikas, you'll really enjoy this, come on outside. And he was wondering what I was doing. We actually planted 4 mango trees together.
Yes, we have the next suggestions. You have the microphone with you? Yeah, all right. While you don't use TV, would you like to use the microphone as well?
Maybe I could shout and you would hear me, but...
well, that's what the old Jain Muni used to do.
Yeah. An old man, over 90 years old, when he was asked to share something for us, he said, always stay open-minded, always be ready to learn new things, always get ready for getting experience. And so I would like to pass his experience to you. I'm not 90 yet, but I can afford it. And so always stay open-minded, always be ready to learn something new, even from your own children.
Oh, Marham. Anybody else who wants to say something? Yes, Muzzammil sir.
Well, Pradeep was ahead of me, but in my proposal, in my life, I have certain vows. I don't have more than 5 clothes. I don't have a TV at home. I have the most remote kind of mobile phone, which is about 1,000 rupees. But I don't have in my life the habit of planting trees. So today I like to propose that we, each of us, plant 1 tree a month. We spend 29 days trying to think of what kind of tree I will plant, where I will plant. If I don't have a place to plant, at least in a friend's compound. Which friend? I will think of him, I speak with him, because it will also give opportunity to work in nourishing the tree together. So 1 tree a month. That is my proposal.
Oh, my
and
God.
Also, 2 more things. That is, I will think of people who have done something wrong to me, and I will forgive him. And maintain a diary throughout the year to record what type of person and on what incident I have forgiven him. And thirdly, that I will make one person's life happier by doing something good, at least by passing a smile or helping him to cross the road. This also we could do by maintaining a diary which will quantify, and in the end we can see, do audit and see how much people I have served. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Marham. Lovely, quantifiable, very definite points. And very doable as well. Gordon.
Thank you. And I didn't expect to read or participate, actually. I appreciate the opportunity, and I will be brief. I have 6, and 1 has been repeated. The commitment to plant a tree, I think, is a genuine one. Everything I think I have here can be accomplished by anyone. The first is, if I consume meat in my everyday life, I commit to avoid such consumption 1 day per week on the same day every week.
Very good.
The same day. I commit to food consumption. I commit to no food consumption, as the Samanis, Jis, and the Sadvi or the Munis do, to not eat food past sundown. And Sunny G in Houston has basically committed me to do that. Number
This
three,
is a big commitment. Living
But-
in U.S., you
Right.
accept it?
I accept it, and it's,
Oh,
I can't say it's
thank you.
easy, but I do
Oh.
it. I do it. I commit to set daily limits on all social media, internet engagement in my household, and for the kids also. And let's see, that's in my household, and or one day designated for the same, to not do it at all. Limited, so you're doing what? 4 hours a day? I mean, there are figures. I don't know the figures. How about 3 hours? How about 1 hour? I have no television as well, so it works out pretty good in America. So there's nothing to watch, actually. The fifth one will be I commit to make eye contact with, give a smile to, and say hello to a person I would normally not necessarily give notice to, at least once a month. And I think the attorney made reference to that by acknowledging the busboys and the cooks, who I enjoy talking with the entire time. And the last one, I commit to consider, just commit to consider taking a 24-hour water fast over the next 30-day period, and to continue one time a month thereafter, which is a good thing and it's easy to do. So I hope these are something you can commit to, at least one of these things when you go back.
How great. Wow. Thank you very much. Gordon, we are going to do audit next year that are you really following it? And in case you're following it, I'm going to be the first one to recommend Anuvrat Award to you right on this auditorium next year.
Well, I'll be here.
Thank you. Wow, he's confident. Thank you very much. That's the exciting spirit, how to make a difference. One person can be a torchbearer, and that's how I did it. I'm amazed. This is, even if it's a small outcome of this conference, I feel I got worth the time which we have spent on all these things. One person can make such a big difference. Nobody knows better than Golden, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Acharya Tulsi. We have an endless list. We don't have to talk about it by going into the history. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. While I think we would have one or two inputs, the time is running out. I'm afraid I'd like to have the opportunities of Samni's input. They have traveled worldwide, and they look at the things from a different aspect. So here you are.
Like, I have a very small suggestion. I think, like, most of the time, whenever the birthdays or any celebrating day is coming, we generally give flowers to the others in order to celebrate that day. So I think that on that day, particular day, if you give the useful thing to the others, that will be more better. That is, I want to say that we should not pluck the flowers or the leaves which are not necessary. That is my kind suggestions to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think one more last input, and then I would hand over the floor to Shivani ji, and that would be the conclusion of this conference. Please. Oh, I'm sorry.
A small story I want to share with you. This is a real story. On the wedding day of a girl, daughter, mother gave her a passbook and asked her to keep a record of every happy moment you spend with your family, with your spouse, with your mother-in-law, with your father-in-law, or with your friends or family. The daughter started recording every moment, and she said, whenever you are happy, just deposit few amount of money in your bank. They started doing it. On the occasion of their baby, they just deposited 5,000 bucks in their account. On the occasion of their increment, on her husband's salary increment or promotion, they again deposited some 6,000 bucks in the account. In the same way, they keep on depositing and depositing every happy moments they were spending together. Slowly and gradually, the day came when they started fighting with each other with the small, small things. And the day came when they said, Mother, I want to take divorce from this guy. I can't live anymore with him. Mother said, perfectly fine, you can go for divorce, but do one thing. Just take out all the bugs or all the happy moments. Just look at your passbook and spend whatever you have deposited in your account. Just spend that everything before taking the divorce. The girl took that passbook and she realized what happy moments we spent it together. And that was the moment she rushed towards her husband and said, I don't want any divorce. I can imagine what happy moments we had spent it together. So my dear friends, I want to tell you, create a passbook of your life and record each and every happy moment of your life. And the moment you feel bad about anything, just open that passbook and recall every happy moments of your life, and all your worries will vanish at that moment only. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much for all your inputs. I think every good or bad thing has to come to an end. I feel so elated that all of you could come. We had the blessings of Acharya Sri. I repeat, in any program there are possibilities of mishandling, oversight, mistake from our side. I'd like to ask for our forgiveness. Please do forgive if we have made any error of judgment in understanding as well your needs. You may not be thinking that that's right or wrong, so I ask for your forgiveness. And we are very fortunate that we have Sadhu right here all the time during our conference sessions. And today I'm privileged that we have Muni Kishanlal ji. He's related to my family. He comes from the same area village which I come from, so I couldn't feel more privileged. He would be doing some experimentations for a short while after the conference, after my presentations, and a few words from our elegant dear Shivani ji. I think she has won the hearts of everybody as if we know her for a real long time. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, delegates, I see all the audience. I'm talking all the time in English, and I'm surprised that they are still as much interested in hearing. Thank you very much for participation. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate your presence here. It made the difference. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Surendra Bhai Sahab. परीक्षा प्राध्यापक मुनि किशनलाल जी हमारे समक्ष हैं. मैं आपसे निवेदन करूंगी कि आप इस पूरी अनुव्रत इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को एक सही राह पर मार्गदर्शन करके छोड़ें. तो I think if we have a little bit of a meditation session, there would be nothing nicer to conclude the conference. A big thank you to all of you for being here. We're not going to say anything after the meditation is concluded. In your own meditative space, you can move towards lunch and we'll chit-chat there. We'll leave the room with the aura of Muniji's sharing.
इन्होंने मुझे दीक्षित किया. इस छोटे से गांव का मैं रहने वाला था. जैसा कि अभी सुरेंद्र जी ने कहा कि जिस गांव में मेरा जन्म हुआ है वहीं के रहने वाले सुरेंद्र जी हैं.
Muniji lived in a small village, as Surendra Bhai Sahab shared with you, the same village as his.
हमारी गोष्ठी में जब यह निर्णय हुआ आचार्य श्री महाश्रवण जी के सानिध्य में कि अनुभृत इंटरनेशनल के कार्यक्रम को किसको सौंपा जाए, तब 2-4 नाम आए. फिर आखिर में सुरेंद्र जी पटावरी का नाम सिलेक्शन हुआ मेरे मन में थोड़ा सा विचार था कि सुरेंद्र जी बिजनेसमैन है, वो इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को किस तरह से डील कर पाएंगे, लेकिन उन्होंने जिस तरह से डील किया और जिस तरह से अनुव्रत इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस सफल हुई, यह उनके लिए तो कल्याणकारी है ही, और साथ साथ में आचार्य श्री का जो विश्वास था वो सही हुआ। मैं एक सवाल आपसे करना, सॉरी।
When we were considering who to assign the responsibility to conduct the conference, there were several names that were discussed. Among them was Patawari's name. We considered he's a businessman, and perhaps this might not be absolutely in keeping with what the Anuvrat philosophy would be. But in fact, there wasn't a better choice that we could have made. And we are very happy with the outcome of the conference. Acharya ji gives his blessings.
Yes, international conference 100% से भी अधिक 25% अधिक सफल हुई है।
The conference is not just 100% successful, it's 125% successful because the intangibles are also there.
अब मैं आपसे एक सवाल करूं कि आप स्वस्थ रहना चाहते हैं या बीमार?
I want to ask you, would you like to lead a healthy life or one where you are unwell?
अगर आप स्वस्थ रहना चाहते हैं तो आप स्वास्थ्य के लिए क्या करते हैं?
If you want to be healthy, then what are you doing to be healthy?
कुछ करते हैं या केवल चाहते ही हैं?
Is it only a desire to be healthy or are you ready to do something for it?
कुछ करते हैं?
Are you doing something?
बहुत कम हाथ पर उठे हैं। कुछ करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं?
The ones that do, please raise your hands.
मैं आपको बहुत सरल उपाय बता रहा हूँ।
I'm telling you many different solutions.
सबसे पहले आप सही बैठें, सही मुद्रा हो आपकी।
First and foremost, you must sit right.
सही मुद्रा, आपका फेस प्रसन्न और पीसफुल चाहिए, आनंदपूर्ण चाहिए।
If you have a scowl on your face, it's going to tell on your complete health. So your face must be in a peaceful expression.
आप अपने आने वाले ग्राहक और मित्रों से किस प्रकार हंसकर बातें करते हैं?
How do you speak with your friends and your customers, your clients, your colleagues?
फिर घर आकर क्या हो जाता है आपको?
What happens to you when you come home, but?
तो जरा सोचिए, जब तक आपका चेहरा प्रसन्न नहीं होगा, आप स्वस्थ नहीं रह सकते।
If your face is not in an expression of pleasantness, then you cannot be healthy.
तो आपकी सही मुद्रा चाहिए, चेहरा प्रसन्न चाहिए।
Prasanna chahiye. Prasanna. Learn this word, it's so beautiful. Your face must be happy, prasanna. Not happy, but just prasanna.
दूसरा है कि आपका श्वास कैसे है, सही श्वास।
Breathing. Do you think about your breathing? Is it correct?
मैंने शिविरों में हजारों लोगों का श्वास का टेस्ट किया, लोग अधिकतर गलत श्वास लेते हैं।
When you breathe, are you aware that you could be breathing in a wrong fashion? Many people do that.
अधिकतर श्वास लेते हैं तब उनका पेट भीतर जाता है, श्वास छोड़ते हैं तो पेट बाहर आता है। श्वास लेते हैं तब पेट भीतर जाता है, श्वास छोड़ते हैं तो पेट बाहर आता है।
I don't know how that happens, but many people breathe in and take their stomach in. So I don't know how that works because
अभी मैं शिवानी जी का भी टेस्ट करूं तो शायद उनका भी यही होगा। लेकिन आप जरा सोचिए, श्वास जब हम लेंगे, एक छोटा सा सूत्र है, श्वास भीतर पेट बाहर, श्वास बाहर पेट भीतर। श्वास लेंगे तब हमारा पेट बाहर आएगा, श्वास छोड़ेंगे तो पेट हमारा भीतर जाएगा। टेस्ट कर रही है अभी। छोटा बच्चा जब सांस लेता है तब वो ऐसे ही करता है, सांस लिया उसका पेट फूलेगा, सांस छोड़ेगा पेट भीतर जाएगा। प्लीज एक्सप्लेन।
I'm just so taken by trying to say, I'm doing it right. I get the point that I'm not explaining it to you. What you have to do is when you breathe in, you actually let your tummy come outwards. And when you breathe out, the tummy contracts. In this way, the breathing is correct and all the oxygen actually gets circulated into your body. If you do this exercise, this I'm ad-libbing a little bit. मैं थोड़ा सा और कह रही हूँ कि अगर इसे प्रतिदिन किया जाए तो फिर ये रहस्य है।
आप अपने पेट पर राइट हैंड रखिए, राइट हैंड पेट पर रखिए
Put your right hand on your stomach
और ओम बोलते हुए आगे झुकिए। ओ
say Om and bend forward.
हाँ, झुकिए आगे। ओ अब सीधे हो जाइए। दोबारा एक बार और कर लीजिए। सांस भरिए और झुकते जाइए। ओ अब सीधे हो जाइए। ठीक हो गया सांस शिवानी जी। आगे झुके, सांस बाहर हो गया, पेट भीतर चला गया। राइट। तीसरी बात है कि आपकी नींद भी सही होनी चाहिए।
You must sleep properly.
आजकल नींद खराब हो गई है।
These days people don't sleep enough and don't sleep well.
प्रकाश के कारण से लोग 12-2 बजे तक पढ़ते रहते हैं या टीवी देखते रहते हैं।
Because of artificial light, people keep watching television or reading till late in the night.
एक छोटा सा टेक्निक बता रहा हूँ मैं, जिसका नाम है योग निद्रा। योग निद्रा करके आप अपनी नींद को पूरी कर सकते हैं।
If you practice Yog Nidra, then even though you may be sleep deprived, you will complete your body's requirement of sleep.
आप मेरी तरह से हाथ करिए।
Lock your fingers together. Follow Muni ji.
और सांस भरते हुए हाथों ऊपर ले जाइए।
As you fill oxygen into your lungs, take your hands up in the air.
और प्रेस करिए, खींचिए और खींचिए। रिलैक्स। दोबारा करिए। सांस को भरिए और खींचिए और प्रेस। रिलैक्स। ऐसे 3 बार बिस्तर में लेटे लेटे लाइट को ऑफ करने के बाद में आप कर सकते हैं।
You stay in bed, put off the lights and stretch like this 3 times over.
जब आप आंखें बंद कर लेंगे, आंख बंद करने के बाद में ऐसा सोचें।
When you shut your eyes, then you think,
सांस भीतर जाए तो शांति भीतर जा रही है, मेरे रोम रोम में शांति भर रही है।
as I breathe in, I'm breathing in peace. Peace is spreading to every part of my body.
मैं गहरी नींद में जा रहा हूँ।
I am going into a deep sleep.
और उसके साथ साथ में आप अपने यहाँ पर 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock जो भी टाइम आपका हो, आप ऐसा करेंगे, ठीक टाइम पर उठ जाएंगे।
The time that you need to wake up, you circle your fingers around the chakra in between your eyebrows and circle it unto that many numbers of the time that you need to wake up to, and you will wake up at that time.
आपकी घड़ी बंद भले ही हो जाए, लेकिन जैविक घड़ी बंद नहीं होगी, ठीक टाइम पर जाग जाएंगे।
Your clock, even if it's made in Switzerland, can get off track, but the Jain clock that you time
जैविक
yourself.
घड़ी, लाइफ घड़ी, लाइफ घड़ी,
जैविक, Devik, the divine clock, the divine
life clock.
The life clock. The biological clock, okay.
Correct.
The biological clock will not fail you.
और उसके पश्चात सुबह उठते ही आप नमस्कार मुद्रा करें।
Namaskar mudra is the next one we're going to do. Muni ji, आप एक बारी थोड़ी सी details इस वाले के बारे में बता देंगे? Clockwise, जी.
योग निद्रा आज की नींद समस्या हो गई है। लोग गोलियां खा करके नींद लेने की कोशिश करते हैं, ये बड़ा खतरनाक कार्य है। आप योग निद्रा का प्रयोग करेंगे।
You sometimes people take sleeping pills to sleep. I've asked Muni ji to tell us about this sleeping clock thing once again because I think it's hugely relevant. So he's just repeating that.
इस प्रकार आप हाथ करिए, सांस को भरिए, हाथों को ऊपर ले जाइए। एक्सप्लेन। रिलैक्स। 3 बार करिए ऐसे बिस्तर पे लेटे लेटे।
3 times you stretch like this while lying down in bed with your eyes shut.
और सोचिए, आंखें बंद करके श्वास भीतर जा रहा है, शांति भीतर जा रही है.
Shut your eyes and think that peace is entering your body through your breath and spreading to every part of your body.
श्वास बाहर आ रहा है, चारों ओर कमरे में शांति फैल रही है.
As you're breathing out, the same peace from within you is spreading into the entire
This way,
room.
the breathing is correct, and all the oxygen actually gets circulated into your body. If you do this exercise, this I'm ad-libbing a little bit. मैं थोड़ा सा और कह रही हूँ कि अगर इसे प्रतिदिन किया जाए तो फिर ये रहस्य है.
आप अपने पेट पर राइट हैंड रखिए, राइट हैंड पेट पर रखिए.
Put your right hand on your stomach.
और ओम बोलते हुए आगे झुकिए. ओम.
Say Om and bend forward.
झुकिए आगे. ओम. और सीधे हो जाइए. दोबारा एक बार और कर लीजिए. सांस भरिए और झुकते जाइए. ओम. और सीधे हो जाइए. ठीक हो गया सांस शिवानी जी. आगे झुके, सांस बाहर हो गया, पेट भीतर चला गया. राइट. तीसरी बात है कि आपकी नींद भी सही होनी चाहिए.
You must sleep properly.
आजकल नींद खराब हो गई है.
These days people don't sleep enough and don't sleep well.
प्रकाश के कारण से लोग 12-2 बजे तक पढ़ते रहते हैं या टीवी देखते रहते हैं.
Because of artificial light, people keep watching television or reading till late in the night.
एक छोटा सा टेक्निक बता रहा हूँ मैं, जिसका नाम है योग निद्रा. योग निद्रा करके आप अपनी नींद को पूरी कर सकते हैं.
If you practice Yog Nidra, then even though you may be sleep deprived, you will complete your body's requirement of sleep.
आप मेरी तरह से हाथ करिए.
Lock your fingers together. Follow Muni ji.
और सांस भरते हुए हाथों ऊपर ले जाइए.
As you fill oxygen into your lungs, take your hands up in the air.
और प्रेस करिए, खींचिए और खींचिए. रिलैक्स. दोबारा करिए. सांस को भरिए और खींचिए और प्रेस. रिलैक्स. ऐसे 3 बार बिस्तर में लेटे लेटे लाइट को ऑफ करने के बाद में आप कर सकते हैं.
You stay in bed, put off the lights and stretch like this 3 times over.
जब आप आंखें बंद कर लेंगे, आंख बंद करने के बाद में ऐसा सोचें.
When you shut your eyes, then you think.
सांस भीतर जाए तो शांति भीतर जा रही है. मेरे रोम रोम में शांति भर रही है.
As I breathe in, I'm breathing in peace. Peace is spreading to every part of my body.
मैं गहरी नींद में जा रहा हूँ.
I am going into a deep sleep.
और उसके साथ साथ में आप अपने यहाँ पर 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock जो भी टाइम आपका हो, आप ऐसा करेंगे, ठीक टाइम पर उठ जाएंगे.
The time that you need to wake up, you circle your fingers around the chakra in between your eyebrows and circle it unto that many numbers of the time that you need to wake up to, and you will wake up at that time.
आपकी घड़ी बंद भले ही हो जाए, लेकिन जैविक घड़ी बंद नहीं होगी, ठीक टाइम पर जाग जाएंगे.
Your clock, even if it's made in Switzerland, can get off track, but the Jain clock that you time
जैविक घड़ी,
yourself.
लाइफ घड़ी, लाइफ घड़ी, जैविक.
Devik, the divine clock, the divine
Life clock.
The life clock, the biological clock. Okay.
Correct.
The biological clock will not fail you.
और उसके पश्चात सुबह उठते ही आप नमस्कार मुद्रा करें.
Namaskar mudra is the next one we're going to do. Muni ji, आप एक बारी थोड़ी सी डिटेल्स इस वाले के बारे में बता देंगे. Clockwise. जी.
योग निद्रा आज की नींद समस्या हो गई है. लोग गोलियां खा करके नींद लेने की कोशिश करते हैं. ये बड़ा खतरनाक कार्य है. आप योग निद्रा का प्रयोग करेंगे.
You sometimes people take sleeping pills to sleep. I've asked Muni ji to tell us about this sleeping clock thing once again because I think it's hugely relevant. So he's just repeating that.
इस प्रकार आप हाथ करिए, सांस को भरिए, हाथों को ऊपर ले जाइए। एक्सप्लेन, रिलैक्स। 3 बार करके, 3 बार करिए ऐसे बिस्तर पे लेटे लेटे।
3 times you stretch like this while lying down in bed with your eyes shut.
और सोचिए आंखें बंद करके, श्वास भीतर जा रहा है, शांति भीतर जा रही है।
Shut your eyes and think that peace is entering your body through your breath and spreading to every part of your body.
श्वास बाहर आ रहा है, चारों ओर कमरे में शांति फैल रही है।
As you're breathing out, the same peace from within you is spreading into the entire room.
मैं गहरी शांति में जा रहा हूँ।
Tell yourself, I am about to go into a very peaceful state.
मैं गहरी नींद में जा रहा हूँ।
I am about to go into a deep sleep.
उस समय ही आप अपने बिस्तर को कह दीजिए या ऐसे करिए 1 2 3 4 5 6 o'clock अपने आप उठ जाऊंगा।
You circle your fingers around the chakra between your eyebrows and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and at 6 o'clock you will wake up on your own.
दूसरा तरीका है, अपने बिस्तर को कहिए प्लीज मुझे 6 बजे अपने आप उठा देना।
There's another way to do it. Tell your bed to wake you up at 6 in the morning.
या ऐसा कहिए, हे आत्मा मुझे 6 बजे उठा देना।
Tell your inner self to tell you that at 6 o'clock you have to wake up.
आपको प्लेन में जाना है तो किस तरह से उठ जाते हैं आप अपने आप? आपको प्लेन में जाना हो कहीं पर तो 3 बजे ही कैसे उठ जाते हैं अपने आप?
When you have a flight to catch, how is it that you wake up when you have to go?
इसका नाम है योग निद्रा।
It's called Yog Nidra.
चौथी बात है पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग।
The fourth aspect is positive thinking.
अगर आप सकारात्मक सोचेंगे तो आप लाइफ में सक्सेस होएंगे।
If you think you will be a success in life, you will be.
गांव का रहने वाला सुरेंद्र बेल्जियम पहुंच गया।
A village boy like Surendra reached Belgium.
और बेल्जियम पहुंचा ही नहीं, वहां जाकर उसने अपना एक साम्राज्य फैला दिया।
He didn't just get to Belgium, he actually created a place for himself, his people, and a whole ecosystem around him.
और उसने इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को सफल बना दिया।
He has made this international conference a true success.
उठने के पश्चात आप दोनों हाथ जोड़िए, नमस्कार मुद्रा करिए।
May I request you to please all stand up and put your hands together in the Namaskar
बैठे
Mudra.
करिए। चलो।
Please sit down again. I think I misinterpreted that part. That is what you're supposed to do when you do it in the morning.
ये पोस्चर है नमस्कार मुद्रा का। ये पोस्चर नमस्कार
Put your
मुद्रा।
hands together in the Namaskar position.
श्वास लेते हुए हाथों को ऊपर उठाइए, इसका नाम है अरहम मुद्रा।
As you lift your hands, breathe in. This is called Arham Mudra.
मंत्र है नमो अरहंताणम।
Namo Arhantanam.
श्वास छोड़ते हुए हाथ नीचे ले आइए।
As you breathe out,
दूसरी
bring your
मुद्रा
hands
है,
down.
दूसरी मुद्रा सिद्ध मुद्रा है।
The next mudra is Siddh Mudra.
श्वास को भरते हुए हाथों ऊपर ले जाइए।
Breathe in and take your hands up in the air.
दोनों हाथों को खोलिए।
As you open your hands,
श्वास छोड़ते हुए हाथों को नीचे ले आइए।
breathe out and bring your hands back down again.
दोबारा करिए, श्वास भरते हुए हाथों को ले
Repeat it
जाइए।
again. Take your hands up in the air. Breathe
मंत्र
in.
है नमो सिद्धाणम।
Namo Siddhanam.
श्वास छोड़ते हुए हाथ नीचे ले आइए।
Breathe out and bring your hands down.
तीसरी मुद्रा है आचार्य मुद्रा।
The third position is Acharya Mudra.
श्वास को भरते हुए हाथों को अंगूठे को कंध के लाइए।
Breathe in and take your thumbs to your shoulders.
मंत्र बोलिए।
Say the
नमो
mantra.
आयर्याणम।
Namo Ayaryanam.
नमो आयर्याणम।
Namo Ayaryanam.
श्वास छोड़ते हुए हाथ वापस ले आइए।
As you breathe out, bring your hands together
चौथी
again.
मुद्रा है उपाध्याय मुद्रा।
The fourth position is Upadhyay Mudra.
मेरी तरफ बनाइए आप, श्वास को ऊपर ले जाइए और छत की ओर देखिए।
Make a diamond out of your fingers and take your hands up towards the sky. Look
मंत्र
up.
बोलिए नमो उवज्जायाणम।
Chant the mantra Namo
नमो
Ujjayanam.
उवज्जायाणम।
Namo Uvajjayanam.
श्वास छोड़ते हुए हाथ नीचे ले आइए।
Breathe out and bring your hands back.
पांचवी मुद्रा है मुनि मुद्रा।
The fifth position is Muni Mudra.
श्वास भरते हुए हाथों को ऊपर ले जाइए
Breathe in and take your hands up in the air.
और समर्पण मुद्रा, हाथ ऐसे करिए, अंजलि बनाइए, दोबा बनाइए।
Anjali is a position where you cup your hands and stick them together. So, Anjali Mudra.
मंत्र बोलिए, नमो लोए सब साहूणम।
Namo Loe Sab Sadhunam.
नमो लोए सब साहूणम।
Namo Loe Sab Sahunam.
श्वास छोड़ते हुए हाथों नीचे ले, आगे झुकिए, आगे झुकिए।
Bend forward.
अब सीधे हो जाइए।
Now straighten up.
अभी आपकी कॉन्फ्रेंस में 3 बातों पर बल दिया गया। पानी को वेस्टेज नहीं करें, तेल को वेस्टेज नहीं करें, और जो कर रहे हैं उसके बाद में आने वाले 40 वर्ष में क्या हो जाएगा भगवान ही जाने। किस बात कॉपर का ज़्यादा यूज मत करें, कॉपर धातु।
What your conference has focused on 3 primary aspects. Don't waste water. Be careful about oil, because in 40 years from now, if you don't do that, then there'll be no oil. And don't overuse copper.
मेरी सलाह माने तो इतना संयम करें, एक बार स्नान करते समय 20 लीटर पानी से ज़्यादा यूज नहीं करेंगे।
Please consider this. When you have a bath, don't use more than 20 liters of water in one bath.
कम भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन 20 से अधिक नहीं होना चाहिए।
You can use less if you like, but certainly not more than 20 liters a bath.
दूसरा, ऑयल की बात कर रहे हैं तो ऑयल में कम से कम बड़ी यात्रा आप गाड़ी में नहीं करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा।
When you travel, try to plan it in such a way that you don't travel without reason. And if you can, do things like you have carpooling facilities or better planning, so you're not wasting oil.
कॉपर के लिए, धातु के लिए कितना यूज, धातु क्या, पेड़ क्या, लकड़ी क्या, इतना यूज हो रहा है जिसकी सीमा नहीं है। आने वाले समय में कठिनाई हो सकती है।
Well, other materials, please be careful, because in the coming years they can be quite scarce.
बाहर की बातें तो कॉन्फ्रेंस में हो गई, लेकिन भीतर क्या हो रहा है हमारे? राग, द्वेष, घृणा, ईर्ष्या, जलसी, ये सब चीजें हो रही है। ये उससे भी ज्यादा खतरनाक है।
External factors we've tackled in the conference, those are things that you can change. But what about deep inside you? Jealousy, anger, all the emotions, to attend a conference like this and shout at someone for no reason, those are things that you have to consider. It has to be an inner enrichment post the conference.
जो अभी विश्व की स्थिति हो रही है, चाहे आतंकवादियों के नाम से या और किसी नाम से, बड़ा भयंकर दृश्य सामने आ रहा है। अगर इसमें शांति नहीं हुई तो बहुत कठिनाई पैदा हो सकती है।
In the coming times, there's a very dangerous time coming up. Whether you call it through terrorism or through whatever, the point is these are times of great danger, and peace is the only way forward.
हम कामना करें कि संसार में शांति हो, पीस हो।
We hope for world peace.
अब एक छोटा सा प्रयोग बता देता हूँ आपको कि आप किस तरह से न्यूट्रल रह सकते हैं।
A trick to stay neutral.
सीधे बैठे हुए हैं, आप एक प्रेक्षा मुद्रा करिए, मेरी तरह हाथों को ऐसे करिए आप।
Make your hands in this position.
प्लीज क्लोज योर आईज, आंखें बंद करें।
Close your eyes.
और देखिए आपकी अंगुलियों में, हाथों में क्या हो रहा है।
What's happening in your hands and your fingers?
जो वाइब्रेशन, जो कुछ हेवीपन, लाइटनेस, जो कुछ हो रहा है, केवल उसे फील करिए आप।
Feel the heaviness or lightness in your fingers.
Finish your session. What you feel? आपने क्या अनुभव किया, क्या हो रहा था हाथों में?
What was happening in your hands?
आप प्रेजेंट में थे, पास्ट में थे, फ्यूचर में थे?
Were you in the present, the past, or the future?
क्या बुरा विचार आया?
Were there any bad thoughts?
क्या राग द्वेष आया? राग द्वेष।
Was there any rag dvesh? Rag dvesh का अनुवाद? Was there any attachment?
क्या इस समय आप बुरे विचार आए या अच्छे विचार आए?
Did you have good thoughts or bad thoughts?
आप न्यूट्रल थे, प्रेजेंट में थे आप, या पास्ट में थे, या फ्यूचर में?
Where were you, in the present, past or the future? Did you have negative
Why?
or positive thoughts?
प्रेजेंट में तो कोई बुरा विचार आया क्या? तो इसलिए एक परिभाषा याद कर लीजिए, अच्छे बुरे विचार के बिना, बोलिए,
Without good and bad thoughts,
केवल वर्तमान में रहना,
staying in the present,
ध्यान है, धर्म है, अध्यात्म है,
is the way to be.
दूसरा, आप बैठे आराम से, ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है, केवल 1 मिनट का समय है कि आप आंखें बंद कर अपने ब्रीथ को, श्वास की काउंटिंग करिए, 10 सांस.
Close your eyes and count your breath for 10 breaths.
ओम शांति. अब खोल दीजिए सांस, छोड़ दीजिए. अभी आप प्रेजेंट में थे, पास्ट में थे, फ्यूचर में थे.
Were you in the present, the past, or the future? Present.
क्या बुरा विचार आया?
Did you have any bad thoughts?
क्या राग द्वेष आया?
Did you have any attachment?
आप प्रेजेंट में थे, आप प्रेजेंट में रहिए, और आपके पास में, अपने पास श्वास है. जब भी आप चाहो श्वास पर अपने चित्त को केंद्रित कर दो, आप राग द्वेष, अच्छे बुरे विचारों से बच जाओगे.
Attachment, detachment, these are all things you can run away from. Whenever you need to, your breath is within you. Use it and get into this state of neutrality.
श्वास आपके पास में है. पेट्रोल खत्म हो जाएगा, कोई चिंता नहीं. पानी खत्म हो जाएगा, कोई चिंता नहीं. कॉपर खत्म हो जाएगा, कोई चिंता नहीं. मुझे चिंता इस बात की, अगर आपका श्वास खत्म हो जाएगा तो सब कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा.
Water will finish, don't worry about it. Copper will finish, don't worry about it. When your breath finishes, that's the thing to worry about. That remains with you throughout your life. So use it to keep yourself in a state that makes your life.
इसलिए जब भी आपको याद आए, अपना ब्रीदिंग को देखेंगे तो प्रेजेंट में आ जाएंगे और राग द्वेष से बच जाएंगे.
So whenever you need to get into the present, just get away from all the attachments, detachments. Use your breath, which is always with you. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका मुनि जी.
आपका धन्यवाद है. उस धन्यवाद को हम कहते हैं कृतज्ञोस्मि. मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. कृतज्ञोस्मि संस्कृत वर्ड है.
Kritagyoshmi is a Sanskrit word and it means I am obliged to you.
मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. आप मुझे तो कह देंगे, मेरे को तो कह दिया आपने, लेकिन आप घर जाकर अपनी सास को कहिए, अपने ससुर को कहिए, पति को कहिए और परिवार वालों को कहिए, तो मैं कहूँ समाज में शांति और प्रेम फैल जाएगा.
If you share this with people in your family, your whole family will be at peace. There'll be happiness all around. And
धन्यवाद.
thank you. Thank you so much. Om Arham.